I'm back. This is no, not part two. This is the second do. Is that right? Sorry. Um, Hi everyone. Oh, sorry. Let's turn the TikTok off. Hi everyone. How are you doing today? So I am redoing this video. I posted a video 15 minutes ago and I'm like, yuck, it's a chaos. It's Sunday morning. I've had coffee and that's about it. So, anyway, it's typical ADHD. Are we having fun yet? Okay, folks. So, yeah. So, good morning. It's Sunday. I am coming at you semi live. I am here because I'm a little bit excited. I got a new desk set up and I wanted to share it with you. So, how it came to this point is that my desk was a hot mess. And I know that with people with ADHD, we struggle with desk organization. Now I'm getting ready to do some remote work. Fingers crossed. Hopefully this will be working out. I have a full-time job, about 37 hours, but I wanted to try and make a little bit extra on the side, so I'm going to be doing some remote work. And I don't want to do Uber. And one of the two requirements they have is that you have to have a landline, which I don't have, like a broadband hardwired. I don't have that, but I do have better internet speeds. And the second requirement is a lot of these places require you to have dual monitors because you have to work out of two programs, right? So I have a laptop, a little HP Pavilion, and I have a monitor. And I've had this set up for a while, and it really wasn't working for me anymore. I don't know why I set it up the way I did. I mean, I'll show you what I have now. But basically, my laptop was on my desk, and I had the monitor on this weird monitor arm, and it was okay. It wasn't great. Um, I was primarily using the monitor as my main monitor. I wasn't using an extended monitor. I don't know why I didn't do that, but see, this is like my needs were different a few years ago than they are now. So, um, I was looking, and I don't have that much space. I work out of my bedroom. I have an office space, but it's not usable. I have a really incredible IKEA desk unit. I don't remember what the name of it was, and I love it. It's a corner piece. It's really sturdy. It's got good legs, and I used it for many years, but it's in the other room. And it's actually not in an enclosed space, which is also going to be a requirement if I do any remote work. I need to have a private, confidential, closed space in order to work. So, bedroom it is. This is where I've been working. Now, what I have as my desk is a piece of wood, and I will show you this. Sorry if this gets kind of wonky. This is what a problem was before. So this is what I have as my desk. This piece of wood came from a woodworker that was next door to us, and he was going out of business. And so I don't remember how much I paid for this, but it came off of some kind of piece of furniture. He had it laying around. He sold it to me maybe for 20 bucks, which seems ridiculous. But I mean, I think it's probably oak. I don't know what kind of wood it is. It's stained, but it's got, this nice detail on it, and it's really, really sturdy. What I had before is an IKEA hollow core desktop, which was like 10 bucks. You can get really crappy stuff at IKEA, and you can get really incredible stuff at IKEA. So that one was starting to bow. So he was selling this. He was selling a bunch of stuff, like just wood. I mean, he was a woodworker, so he was doing a lot of furniture restoration, that kind of stuff. So I got this. It's been great. It's solid. It's not bowing. It's great. And I have, I don't know if you can see this. So I have these round IKEA legs. Would be nice to get the cord out of it. These are just round, plain IKEA legs. Now and these actually are adjustable, so I can raise and lower them as I need the desk height to be. So one thing that I really, really like, and I'm going to do it this way because I'm hand holding this, is that IKEA furniture is incredible for the modularity. Is that a word? I don't know. Modularity. I'll make it a word. Modularness of their systems, and I really, really like them. And I mean, I can put these IKEA legs on this random old piece of desktop furniture. So works really well for me. The space is fits into my space. I've got it right at the end of my bed, which is there's my bed. And um yeah, so generally it's been working okay. However, that is what being ADHD, and these are Christmas lights. Yeah, these are Christmas lights. But this is, what I have. And it's always going to be this way. I can clean it up every few weeks and keep it straight, but it will be what it is. Back here, I have a scanner. I've got my stuff. I've got hand sanitizer. It's just always going to be this cluttered. I can try and say I'm going to be a minimalist, but that's unrealistic. So I've got my pen collection, which is just a fraction of the pens that I have, my coffee, and all that other kind of stuff. So this is just, and a piece of rose quartz. This is just the way it is. But before, I used to have in this space my laptop. Well, that would take up a lot of space. So I saw this other setup. Then I'm like, why didn't I get a rig like that? So this is my current setup. And you can see I've got my laptop here, and I got my monitor over here. And I have space now. Now you're like, well, how can you type like this? Well, you don't, right? This is not feasible to do it that way. So you have to have, 30 years of knowing he's going to be pardon me, I don't know why oh, be quiet, TikTok. All right, I don't know why I did that. Anyway, that's why, and I know this video is just a hot mess because I didn't intend to have my TikTok go off. You have a wireless keyboard, and I may invest in a better wireless keyboard. Sorry, I know this is really bad video stuff, but anyway. So this I'm waiting for the dongle that goes to the computer so it will run. I lost the original dongle that I've had this for years, and I can't find the dongle that goes with it. So there's like a little dongle USB receiver or whatever that can communicate your, sorry, I'm like trying to keep the cord out of the way, that has the keyboard communicating with your laptop. Okay, sorry about this. There's some flaws with the system still. Anyway, that's really annoying. I know it is. Anyway, so yeah, and then the really cool thing is that now when I have to have a space for writing, like I've been wanting to do more writing and journal writing and that kind of stuff, I now can do my writing. I have space. Isn't this nice? Oh, I'm sorry. This is so annoying. I'm going to have to quit this video because I'm holding up the cord for this camera and it's really kind of a pain. But anyway, I just primarily wanted to share with you. See, this is like, I'm using my computer camera rather than my thing, but this is my space now, and I can't pull it out any further. I apologize. But this is basically, and you can see me holding the cord away. That's basically what I have. I now actually have more space in which to work. It's not ideal. I would like to have a minimalist. I would really like to have a minimalist setup, but I'm not minimalist. I have ADHD. This is what you get, right? And so I know a lot of people that are like, oh my God, you're so cluttered. You've just got such a cluttered desk. Why don't you clean that up? Well, that's the problem with people with ADHD. So, how do we function? It's not that people with ADHD don't know how to be organized. Okay. Keep that in mind. This is actually October is ADHD Awareness Month. So, listen and learn. ADHD people do not have, they don't know how. It's not that they, see, I need to get breakfast. It's not that people with ADHD don't know how to organize. At least that's for me. I've lived with ADHD my entire life, so I know my pitfalls. I know how to organize. I know what I need to do in order to be able to stay on top of stuff as much as I can. It's always going to be a struggle. My desk is always going to have some level of clutter. My car is always going to have some level of clutter. And I just do purges every few months. That's what I got to do. That's just the way I just have to live with it that way. And I've got to accept that that is the way it is. And I know that people are like, well, why do you have so much stuff on your desktop? Why don't you clear that up and be more minimalist? I would love it, but that's unrealistic for my life. It just is. That's just the nature of my disability, and I just have to deal with what I got to deal with. So that's why I'm kind of sharing what I came up with. It took me years to figure this out because, duh. I don't really connect with a lot of people. I don't network with a lot of people. So sometimes I don't think, oh, let me see what they're doing until like 5 years later. I'm going, oh, why didn't I set it up that way? And no one ever tells me, oh, hey, do you realize that there's a better way to set that up? And I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. I don't even think about it because at the time, the original setup works for me. So it's taken me a little bit. But that again, that's what having ADHD is all about. I'm starting to get a headache. Um, but I wanted to share that because, it is possible. It may take you. I want to share this stuff because it could help some other people. Uh, you know, just you have to love yourself. You have to accept yourself and your limitations and be able to know how to work around them. And I think that for people who've been diagnosed with ADHD later on, they may have stumbled a lot more through life because they didn't realize they had an issue. I've known I had an issue. I've been paying attention to a lot of the tips and tricks about ADHD and what works for me and what doesn't. And I'm not, I just have to learn that I'm never going to be like that minimalist person that has one like little simple laptop and it's all clean and pretty and may have a little vase of flowers. They change every single day, and one pen because they always know where their pen is. It's like that's just not going to be for me. And I may not look fancy. I may not wear makeup. I may have a messier space, but there are ways that you can make it work and just quit fighting what is unfortunately going to be inevitable for a lot of people and just learn to work with it and understand when things kind of need to be cleaned up a bit and you know, look at creative ways. It may be trial and error. You may need to be able to try something and, hey, a year later, like, this really isn't working for me. Oh, but I saw this other thing that's working for me. So be willing to try different things, talk to people. Even I think one of the big things is that you don't know which questions to ask. Like, oh, wow, I didn't think to ask how to set up my desk. And I know this is, people look at you and they go, well, you're dumb. Like, you should know this. And should we? Sorry. I'm holding this stupid Logitech camera because I see this is one thing that I need. Like if I set it, like I used to be able to set my camera on the edge of my laptop and it was a really great distance and it was stable and everything like that. Now it's a little too low and you're getting this up thing and it's just not really working very well. And then of course I still have desk wobble, which is irritating. So anyway, that's probably the 9 millionth time I've said anyway as well. But I just wanted to share that. It is what it is. And there are ways that if you have ADHD and you have a small space and things are really cluttered and overwhelming, yeah, you will have to make some effort. I think that it's possible. I think people that don't really, think about that, they don't really want to, they're either very blinded by it. And like I said, I was diagnosed with ADHD by 1980 when I was 12. So it's again, and the other judgment is that people that are on the outside who are neurotypical look at people with ADHD and they say, well, you don't care. That's not true. I mean, my bathroom again is not where I want it to be because I haven't been able to get the towel rack. I had it remodeled back in May finally. It was like, oh, that took years. And I still haven't found, I had the whole set, but it didn't match my faucet, brush nickel. Anyway, but I do what I can. It's not that I don't care. And I think that that's also a judgment that people who have neurotypical, who are very judgmental and very like, oh my God, why do you do it that way? Like, I don't understand. Like, you're so messy, you're so sloppy, you know, you don't care about your space. And that's not true at all. I mean, if I could live a minimalistic lifestyle and have my stuff perfect and organized and everything, I would do it in a heartbeat. But thus, I have, as it is, I have a mental health issue. And I have I'm neurodiverse, as I like that term a little bit, but that's, my brain doesn't work like other people's. And it is a very frustrating thing. There's a lot of judgment involved, and I'm trying my best to stay on top of stuff. And it takes me 100 times harder than a lot of other people who don't have issues to this. And I take medication. So please don't judge people. Please be kind, compassionate, understanding, and realize that they are working. Well, some of them may not be working very hard. I work very hard to try and get my space in a place of organization. I've used what it is. And I fight with it a lot, but if I fight with it too much, then I get really depressed and down on myself and beat myself up, and that doesn't help. So I'm learning not to do that. I'm learning to be a good ally to myself and say, hey, I can have a better desk setup, and I want to help other people saying, hey, this is possible too. It's not going to look, and this is the other thing. If you go on YouTube or on the internet and look up desk setups or dual monitor office setup and everything, every picture you will see is this minimalist perfect setup. Okay, like people that have these desks, and you're going to get depressed if you have ADHD. You're going to look and go, wow, I want that. And it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. It's not going to work like that. And they're like, oh, but you want to have it clean and set up so there's no distracting clutter and da 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 da. That's not realistic for everybody, folks. It really, really isn't. I mean, it's just like this. Um, and I don't know why society sets this stuff up for people, you know? I mean, my situation right now is so much better than it was 24 hours ago. It's incredible. I love it. Is it perfect? Yes, I still have a lot of clutter. There's a lot of bric-a-brac. Which I hate bric-a-brac, but there's just a lot of little stuff on my desk that will always be on my desk. It just will be. And I think that we need to be kind and compassionate to ourselves and to others who are struggling with this, and helpfully guide them along instead of judging them and saying, you don't care. And putting these judgments saying, you don't care if you live in a pigsty, or you don't care. Like someone might be going, oh, that's such a cluttered, horrible mess. How can you live like that? And there's this judgment. And that's not helpful. It's not helpful to ourselves to feel that way about ourselves. And it's not helpful when we judge other people. And I really hate the internet because so many of these people just are like, oh, if you're going to be presenting this, present it. It's unrealistic. It's unrealistic, folks. It's, you know, maybe we want to portray this image that we are just so pristine and there's no clutter, and it's, you know, and that may be an ideal, that may be helpful in some ways, but in other ways it may not be helpful. So don't judge, keep an open mind. And I just wanted to share my setup that I just got within the last 24 hours. I'm very happy with it. I have reclaimed my space, and I can't wait to get my wireless keyboard dongle, because then I'll be able to actually really use it. Although it's funny, it's amazing when you're surfing the internet how much you actually don't need to type on things. Like, a lot of it's just clicking. But yeah, you if you have a setup like that I showed you, you are going to need to have a wireless or a Bluetooth keyboard to do that, because it's unrealistic to type on an elevated keyboard like that. It doesn't work. So anyway. Oh, and the other great thing, which I know that electronic hygiene, which they call it, they always say keep the electronics out of your bedroom. Well, that obviously isn't realistic for a lot of people either. If you live in a very small space, you may live in a studio apartment, you know, trying to keep your space. They always say, well, make sure that you keep your space uh, cordoned off and you have your boundaries between your sleeping space and your workspace. I get that. But one thing, and I've never really laid in bed, like I'm always like, turn the TV off if I'm not watching it. Well, I'm on the computer a lot of the times. But one thing that I haven't really been able to do, I kind of tried to do it before, is that it's easier, I think it's going to be easier now, to turn my bigger monitor, and I can lay in bed now and watch a movie, which probably isn't a good thing, but it is cozy. It's a lot more cozier than sitting at a desk watching a movie. So anyway, so I like that setup, but I know it don't work like that. You're not supposed to work like that. It's not supposed to be good. And it's not perfect watching a movie either. I have to like figure out where I can put my mouse, what works. I'm like using it on a pillow, which amazingly it works, but it's 20 minutes. I just wanted to share with you. I'll give you one last look at my desk setup. So, and I've got this leash on this camera, but yeah. So don't look over there. Don't look over here. It's opposite. Sorry, the cord is in the way, but yeah. So got this space, and this, I can still look out the window. See, I can see with my broken blinds, but I can still look out the window, and I have this space. And yes, the keyboard goes here, but it's much easier for me to just set it off to the side. And I actually, you know, now I've got this space. So that's my setup. As imperfect as it is, I just wanted to share it with you. So you have a great weekend, well, great Sunday now, and subscribe, and thanks. Bye. And uh, I swear, I'm like, I don't have it together here. But hey, I'm coming at you real. I'm not coming at you, I've got ADHD, but look at my perfect life. So yeah, this is my life. All right. Bye.